why businesses should be using Google Plus Local. And where did I get this? I got this from a blog written yesterday from Graham Charlton. And quite honestly, I'm not sure where I got this. It's not on here. But at any rate, I use Google Plus every day, 7 days a week. I use it for a lot of reasons, and it's not so much how big my following is at Google Plus. That is not of primary importance to me. I use Google Plus as one of the major primary sources of information of what we do here at David's Barter Community. And so when I do a YouTube owned by Google, I do the coding that I need to describe my YouTube. The very next thing I do after I've put it into my YouTube library, which now has about close to 350 segments, episodes, and that's all happened since February of this year. That's when I first started doing them. The next thing I do is I take the code from that video and I go to Google Plus. I use the same description, I use the same title, I use the same subscription, and Google has made it very simple for me to share that video from YouTube to literally wherever you want to go, but in this case, Google Plus. So I embed that code onto my Google Plus information. So now I've got videos showing in two different environments. I have them showing in YouTube. I have them showing in Google Plus. And then a third place I do is I take them and I embed that code onto a landing page in David's Barter Community. So I have almost every YouTube, 99% of them, I create a landing page in the community. So now I've got 3 uses of that YouTube that I've done. And I don't spend a lot of time on Google Plus Local because being local at this point in time is not that important to the growth and development of our community. It will become more so in the future as we have 5,000 members in California or whatever it might be. At that point where we have a lot of activity in local communities, then we will spend more time developing the local aspects. The same kind of resources that we share with you every day, we will localize them in the future. But here are some reasons why you should use Google Plus Local for your business, particularly, not just your existing business, but particularly for a startup, because using all the resources that Google makes available, and their technology is second to none. Using their technology starts to put you on a level playing field with anybody else who is using their technology to find information or using their technology to market your business. The difference being is that the larger the business is, the more people power they have to make that resource work for them. So instead of one person like myself doing a YouTube, putting it on Google Plus, creating a landing page, they might have 100 people or 200 people doing it. And some of the larger brands that use Google and Google Plus and Google Local have large budgets to spend to get people to do all the things that they want to get done. But if you use it when you're starting a business, it's a great tool and a great resource. First, Graham offers this definition of Google Plus Local. This used to be known as Google Places, but has since been merged into Google Plus as it looks to find more ways to force people to use its social network. Now, I actually take issue with that. They call Google Plus a social network. I don't think it's important that it's necessarily called a social network. It's something bigger than a social network. It is a database of information, and you don't necessarily go there just to tell your friends and followers and circles what you're doing, entertain them, whatever your objective is in communicating with folks. You don't necessarily do it at Google Plus to reach those people. It's just another community, but its impact is much greater because Google will search the information found at Google Plus way before they'll search the information that one might post at, let's say, Facebook. In fact, Facebook will not, well, they dominate the social media world. They've got 1 billion users, 500 million of them who spend more than 3 hours a day on Facebook. They need to create a search functionality, and they're putting a lot of money into developing that search technology because they understand they need it. Google already does it. If you go to my Google search results page, search engine results page, my SERP, for either David's Barter or SmallBizDavid in quotation marks, you will find page after page after page of information about things that I have done online. You'll see Google Plus stuff. You'll see YouTube's. Some days I will go to my search results page, and I don't go there every day. The interesting thing, though, my search results page on Google changes every day. Why does it change every day? Because the information that I bring you at YouTube, well, it starts at stickm.com live, YouTube, Google Plus, they search that information, and that's why my results change based upon the content. Content is king, and based upon what people are searching for in the way of information. That's precisely why you will see us coding starting a new small business whenever we can. I understand very clearly when I use that in the title of the YouTubes that I do, more people view those YouTubes that have those words, starting a new small business. Now, sometimes I don't use those words, but when I do use them, I know that the viewership will always be higher than if I don't use them. Okay, so Google Plus Local used to be called Google Places. By creating a Google Plus page And what? Optimizing local listings. Businesses can have a greater control over how they appear in local search results. Now, what we have done, and what anybody can do, if you know how to do it, and you know the coding, and you know what you need to be telling the Google search engines, if you search David's Barter, the very first search result, more often than not, is what is called a link farm. It's got 6 bits of information spread out horizontally, so it's not just coming down vertically on your page of results. It spreads itself out horizontally. So I occupy 2 columns with that link. That's kind of the same concept that we're talking about now as you develop that local aspect, because that link farm can help you develop the local aspects. It's not that difficult to do. We've done it very successfully. We can actually help you do it for your business. Oh, here's where I got the information: econsultancy.com. econsultancy.com, a great new resource of information for me. Okay, why should you use it? And here's the blog, shows all kinds of pictures and results and search results, things that you can do if you do it right. Why should you use it? The growth of mobile and local search. According to Google Stats, 8% of UK mobile users seek information, local information, on their smartphones, and 81% take action using the local content. Not only is that smartphone smart, it knows exactly where you are based upon GPS technology, and your smartphone can tell you that you are near Joe's Chicken Shack. Why don't you go in to Joe's Chicken Shack? Because he's got a special on chicken wings today. That's the concept of how it can work. Okay, then SEO. That's another reason why search engine optimization. These results are shown prominently on Google, and since users often are searching for types of product or service, then there is the real intent to visit or purchase beyond these kinds of queries. A third reason why: you gain an advantage over your competitors. If that is important, how critical is that when you're starting a business? The power of reviews. A review is a testimonial for your business. Testimonials are a great thing for your business. When people can say, I went to Joe's Chicken Shack and I got a great chicken wing there, that will tend to bring more people in when they read that kind of information. When on their smartphone it says, you are near Joe's Chicken Shack, go try some of his wings. Powerful, powerful stuff. And when you're starting a business, how critical is that for you as you're marketing information about your business? There's tips for implementation, and real quickly we'll go over these and we'll deal with them in a greater detail later. Make your listing stand out. Add keywords, small business keywords to your business description. Encourage customers to leave reviews. Create a listing for each of your physical locations. Get authored up, R-E-L, authored up. I'll have to study that. I'm not quite sure what that is. But reasons why you should use Google Plus for your small business, and particularly for your new business startup. And our next segment is going to be an interesting blog that I read yesterday titled 7 Samurai Virtues for the Modern Entrepreneur.